Welcome to the energy update. This is the full moon. Full moon in Sagittarius, June the 11th. And yeah, that's what I'm going to say. So I'm reporting live and direct. I'm actually recording this video on the full moon, okay? So I'm like right in the thick of it. I'm like feeling the vibes, man, or not so many vibes. But this was a little bit subtle for me. This full moon was like, yeah, I see you, you're there, no problem. And then all of a sudden came up on the day, meaning today, and just burst up and gave me a bitch slap and was like, haha, surprise. And I woke up and I was like, oh shit, I don't really feel that great today at all. No, I don't feel horrific, but I don't feel great. You know what I mean? And I just thought, well, I'm going to embrace and I'm going to accept the way I feel. Because remember, I've said in previous videos, acceptance is the key to joy. So that is the only way. If we resist, that door gets slammed in your face. Resist and stay in the darkness, okay? Accept, open your energy field, open wide. Let that energy just be with you and be like, it's okay, you can come, no problem. Do you know what I mean? No resistance. That acceptance will rapidly change you into another direction, into a different energy, right? Because we are alchemists and that's what we do. But if we resist anything and we shut it down and we're like, no, we calcify it, we lock it down and it stays where it is, right? So let's start this video, okay, with where does love lack in your life? Now, I've been using this thread and theme from Hathor because she brought this through to me. She was like, ask that question. So this is the month of June. It's joyous June. It is Hathor's month. And I am not digressing from that at all. Even with all the chaos and even all the funky feelings and all the rest of it, I am not digressing from the fact it's joyous June because I know that that is my truth. My truth is that I am love. My truth is that I'm joy. And that is the original source codes of me. That's the true essence of who I am. I'm no longer going to believe in the darkness and the pain and the story and tell myself that that's where I'm at. So you have to actually really ascertain where you're dropping anchor. Are you dropping anchor in the story and whatever chaos is going on? Because then that's what it will be. It will just be that. That's it. Or are you dropping anchor into the heart of Hathor, still maintaining joyous June because it's a choice, and staying with that high frequency? Even as I say it, I can feel the difference in energy and frequency in my body. And when I say joyous June and Hathor, I'm like, oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's my truth. Why? Why does that resonate so much? Because it's it resonates because it's the absolute foundation of who I be. It's who you be. Do you know what I mean? So if we anchor into joyous June and we continue to keep the faith, because that's a big thing in this video as well, then all of a sudden this chaos and the shadow that might be brought up is very easily dealable with, okay? So if you are joyous June and your heart of Hathor, you're looking at this going, oh, this is obviously something that just needs to come out of the wash so I can continue my journey with joyous June. If you stay on this side and you're in the dark and the shadows, that's all you're going to get. You're going to focus on it and you're going to get more shadow and you're going to talk about it to all your friends and you're going to cultivate and manifest even more of it and drama. Let it go. What about if you stand on this side and go, what a gift? Because distortion is gift. Distortion and that kind of energy is one of your biggest guides. And I've said it before, so you can have Hathor, Isis, Sekhmet, your distortion, your darkness, because that is actually a guide in itself. And it's energy that shows you don't go this way. You know what I mean? Because what does darkness and shadow do? It repels you. So that's a great thing. So it is a guide, right? So if you're going to like sit there and go, no, I'm not entertaining it. Why don't you bring it in and just go, why? Yeah. What golden nuggets have I got within this shadow? You know what I mean? And if there are none, you just need to leave it alone and go back to hanging out with joyous June, right? So let's get into it now, because where does love lack, which was the question I've been asking in the videos all month. Now, like, it's very interesting because this dovetails into Sagittarius as a sign. Sagittarius is a fire sign. So we've got a lot of Sekhmet energy in this today because it's all about passion and passion projects and things like that. And a fire sign of Sagittarius is all about like adventurous spirit. They're very optimistic and they're like, let's do this, let's go over there, and like, woo, you know what I mean? And that is kind of like the Sagittarian heart, and it's this zest for life, right? So choose to ignite the fires, right? Or choose to put out fires. So what I mean by that, igniting the fires is like, whoa, yeah, it's creation codes. It's like burn that shit away so we can go into joyous June, so on and so forth. Putting out fires is a term we use quite often, where we're like, oh, you're putting out fires. You're fixing problems constantly. So we have to let go of fixing problems, right? Because that's a very, very deep program for many of us. We just want to make the wheel turn. Let's fix a problem, which means you are within your shadow, ascertaining where you can make that shadow work by getting in it and doing something in there that can actually just keep it ticking over. You don't even want to get into the gubbins of that. No. Do you know what I mean? No more putting out fires. Igniting fire of the heart, of Sekhmet, of the Sagittarius soul. You know what I mean? Within you. Like, that's what we're doing, right? So that is the energy of Sagittarius. So we're bringing the fire into the water, which is alchemy, right? So that's Sekhmet and Hathor. And Sagittarius. Right, so now the next point I'm moving into the unknown, okay? None of us like to not know because we want to go the X, at that X plus X equals Y, and that is very much the divine masculine mindset, and that's not what's going on here, right? We're letting that go because we're in the divine feminine flow. We trust deep sense of self, deep connection to our inner being. Everything's fine. We're in our love codes. Joyous June. Hathor's showing us the way. Everything's fine. There's nothing for you to do. Everything for you to receive. So I know that not all of us are there yet, but that's the energy that we should be in, where we're just letting things coming to you, because efforting and trying hard, thing of the past. That falls under the banner of putting out fires, right? Okay? Ignite fires. Don't put them out, right? Okay, so now, faith, I've written here, faith and trust, none of it makes sense to you. So if it doesn't make sense to you, this is your new normal, okay? Work with me here. Really flipping the brain here, because perception is actually the most powerful thing. The principle of mentalism, when you harness the mind and you master the mind, you mastered everything, right? So if we can start to flick our perceptions and basically say, when it doesn't make sense to you, that's your new sign to say that you're going in the right direction. If it makes sense to you, then you're doing the same old thing. Think about that one, right? Next one. Told you I got a bullet point of list here. Impatience. So when we get fearful, all right, we get impatient. Where does impatience come from? Okay, it comes from the fact that we don't believe that it's going to happen for us. So if we speed it up and go, now, I want it now, then you're basically saying with your energy, I don't believe that I'm held. I don't believe that I can trust. I don't believe that I have faith. I don't believe that spirit's got me, and I don't believe that my divine feminine will bring it to me. That's what you're actually saying with impatience, right? So there's a belief system that it's not going to happen, so we need to speed it up, so just to make sure, right? If you know that it's going to happen, if you know, and I'm going to use something very everyday worldly stuff here, which is exactly the same energy. You order a book off Amazon, right? You look at it, 3 days delivery, no problem. Click, buy, right, deliver, no problem. You move away from your computer, it's a done deal. You'll get a notification on your phone, yeah, everything's taken care of, book in your hand 3 days later, fine. You go to a restaurant, okay, please can I have a flat white or whatever it might be, chat to your friend, you know your coffee's going to be put under your nose in a minute. So you're not in the kitchen there going to the barista like, you know what I mean, or barista or whatever, person that makes coffee. Hey, have you done it yet? Are you sure you're going to bring me that coffee? I'm just checking just in case it doesn't come. Do you know what I mean? So that's the difference. So think about that energy when you have absolute trust and faith that the sun's going to rise in the morning. You have absolute trust and faith that nighttime will come at the end of this day. That's that kind of feeling. We don't sit there and go and stare at the sky all day going, where's the moon? Where's the moon? I need to make sure it's coming. I mean, that's craziness, isn't it? So craziness in thinking that we have to be impatient to make things happen. So impatience crushes creativity. Now you know why when I explain it like that, because you're too much in your head and controlling. Creative codes needs flow. This is very Hathor. This is very womb wisdom. It has to just flow. If you control it, then it's a fuck up, basically. All right. So now, where have I put here? Doing is becoming more and more fruitless. Have you noticed? I've noticed it because I'm a massive creator, and I've actually realized how much I love creating. I love creating DJ mixes. I love creating meditations for you guys. I love channeling. I love all of the things. And it's like, that's a big tick. I'm like, yeah, that's me being creative and how much I love it, right? But sometimes when I've spoken about me getting into that frenzy of doing, going from creative to crackhead, then what actually happens is I'm seeing how little it's feeding me. I'm seeing how little it's serving me. And I'm like, I can feel myself like get into it, and I start to wiggle, and it's like quicksand, and then I can't move, and I'm sinking deeper and deeper. And what they're doing that for a reason, because they're like, right, girl, your only choice is to leave this office, leave this desk, and leave it until tomorrow. And that's so hard. I'm so glad I've got dogs, because that's the only thing that gets me out the house, where I go, right, I'm going to go walk the dogs, and I can disengage and go out. But how crazy is that? Spirit is now not allowing me, or my inner being is not allowing me to go into the creative process with that energy anymore. It's getting harder and harder and harder. And I'm having to finish my day earlier and earlier, which is basically, I'm not going to use the word force, but it's encouraging me on the highest level to actually align with when the creative codes are good and when I need to rest and go and take a beat. So in a way, it's coming out in the wash, right? You might find something similar going on there, you know? So now still letting go of the old story, okay? Release and renew. New episode coming soon. ... So the reason we're still in this like tail end, and this goes back to impatience, but you're like, but Marie, we spoke about this last month and we spoke about this the month before. You're never going to be free of shadow. That's an acceptance thing. Let's keep it real. We're not going to be in a Disney movie 24/7. We're just not. But what happens is we become more adept and more masterful in having a human experience with exactly what I just said. When it's raining outside, don't go out. Have a day on the couch. When it's sunny, go out and enjoy yourself. Get out of the office. So know where to go and when to go and how to go about it, right? That's mastery, okay? So we are in the process of letting go. We're coming to the last episode of the series, and we're going to have like a couple of weeks break, and then they're going to start a new series with a new episode. That's kind of like where you're going. Your old story is now coming apart. Are you one that needs to rescue? Are you finding that you just seem to be piling all your energy into someone else and you're draining? Do you feel that, you know, basically like me, you're kind of like not going with the divine natural order of flow in creativity, where you're pushing yourself too hard and before you know it, you're stuck into a doing frenzy? Are you impatient? Do you know what I mean? What's the story, the ongoing story that you've told yourself? And just sharing with the group here, I believe mine is all to do with creating. I think it's all to do with me and how I hold in this physical body, this very powerful channel I have to spirit, and how that comes out and how I create it from my fingertips, and being more responsible, and being okay with the fact, giving myself more love, that it's all right to step away from this computer. It's okay to not do a video on a certain day. But the problem is I get a little bit addict energy because I love teaching and I love doing videos, and sometimes I can't flick the switch off. So for me, that has been my whole life. That's why I went into drug addiction. That's why I had 3 nervous breakdowns. That's why I basically burnt myself out as an exercise specialist. Everything I burnt myself out on, honestly. Nosebleeds are my things. You know what I mean? Nosebleeds, I know those inside out, upside down, back to front. An energetic nosebleed, emotional and physical. You know what I mean? So that's my lesson that this full moon is showing me. Sagittarius is saying, right, passion. Where's your fire? Where's your passion? When I start to do too much, I start to dampen the fire, right? We don't want to do that. So that's my sharing with you. Where do you feel that your story is still playing out? And what is it like? Get away from the details. What's underneath it? Because it's nothing to do, just for you to identify and go, oh, that's what I'm releasing with this full moon. That's what I'm letting go of. But take away all attachment. This is what's really important. The full moon is coming with a massive blessing now. Sagittarius is kind of like, or Sekhmet is coming in, and let's bring Sekhmet in on this, because this essentially is her field of expertise. Fire, burning everything away. No need to know anymore. We just know that there's still shit going on, and we just got to keep it moving, kids. We just got to keep it moving, right? Are you aligned? Now, I love it that I've just spoken about Sekhmet. Are you aligned with your purpose? Have you got things in your life that, you know, that hold passion? Even if it's gardening, it doesn't have to be work related. Do you have something that you're passionate about in your life? It may be you love your gym program. It may be that you love your dog. It may be that you love painting or coloring mandalas. It may be that you love DJing. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be related to a job or anything like that. Maybe it could be. If you do have it in a job, then you've double whammy. Amazing. So that's a really, really powerful thing that you're going to ask, because that's why you're being cleared out of all of this shit. Because if there's stuff going on for you, it's spirit or Hathor is saying to you, yeah, you've got passion projects inside of you and it's going to happen, but we need to clear this out the way first, right? Next page. There's a lot. Last page though. We're only there, right? Okay. Letting go of thinking you don't know enough. Oh, that just ties into the whole doing frenzy, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Getting ready, preparing constantly. And remember, I think Gemini's in the mix of this full moon and Sagittarius is all about learning. So it's like, this is my worst because I love to learn and I love to study and I love to just like know things and it's so interesting and channel and write and all that kind of stuff. And I get so overwhelmed because there's such a passion for it, but then it can work against me, right? So you're already there. You're already there. That's what we need to bring into the mix of this full moon as well, is that what you're striving to do and what you're trying to go out there and make happen, it's already happened. It's within you. It's not out there. So when we can come to that place of peace and trust and faith, and we are just like, okay, I've got what I need. It's happening. I've already got it inside. And there's like a contentment, a comfort in that. Then everything else is sweets and gravy. So that is something that's probably going to be ongoing. I know I've been working on that all my life, and it does get better and better, and I get more of a master of this. And now we mustn't forget that we mustn't be too hard on ourselves, because we have come to this earthly life to master the human experience. So don't chuck your toys out the cot that you've got some shadow coming at you, bro, because it's time for mastery. It's time for you to exercise your skills, gifts, and abilities, unlock more of your ascended mastery, and get to know thyself, because that takes me on to the next thing now of relationships. God, this video is just flowing. I love it. Okay, so relationships. This is a big toe. Let's talk more human life stuff. Relationships with sisters, relationships with brothers, relationships with your beloveds, bosses, whatever. Those are your biggest mirrors, right? It is a very, very twin flamey kind of union vibe, but every single relationship you have around you, even your dog, even your pets, they will play out what you need to understand. So if something's going on outside of you, it's a divine reflection of what's going on inside of you, right? So taking responsibility constantly, projecting, blaming, all of those things, that doesn't fly in 2026. You got to take care of your shit and not vomit it on someone else. Take care of it. Do you know what I mean? It's yours. This is your movie. So relationships that are around you right now are all going to be going through these dysfunctions, and maybe they don't realize it, but they're triggering you with things. Run with it, man, and just go, wow, okay, thank you for that, even though that was a bit stingy sore. You know what I mean? I'm going to take how that's made me feel, and then that's going to be another golden key, a golden nugget for you to step through to the next layer. Because remember, the spirit and Hathor and, Sekhmet, they're all working for us. They're bringing us stuff. So let's not push it to the side and disregard it, right? Everything is for you. It's a gift, right? So remember, Sagittarius is always questing for the truth, right? So that is really bringing us now to the final place of this video, which really I'm probably going to do some videos on union, because this is very much Hathor, because she's about the sacred union all the time, sacred sexuality, unconditional love, and all that kind of thing. What is the biggest, the most important relationship in your life? No, it's not your Pomeranian dog. Sorry, it's not. It's you. The relationship with self, because everything else around you is a mirror and a display of that, right? It's here, not out there, here. So your relationship to self is the most important, because your relationship to self is relationship to spirit. Your relationship to self is relationship to Sekhmet, to Hathor, to all the gods and the goddesses and the deities, because they are within you. They're not separate of you. They are an aspect of you, right? Oneness wisdom for days. Peace. That was it. I thought I was going to sign off then, because usually I say peace, you know what I mean? But I just said peace, and I was like, well, I can't end the video there. I don't know what dimension I was in there. But anyway, that is the end of the video. You know what I mean? So like, all I can say is like, do something brand new today. Let's have a plan. I mean, look at me today. I literally look like I've slept in a bush. I've tried to brush my hair so many times, and I literally look like I've been on a 4-day bender. I've got all of this hanging skin here. Everything looks like, I don't know, I feel like I need a facelift and a spirit lift. I don't know. This is acceptance of good days and bad days, I suppose. But do something brand new today. I'm booking out. I'm going to go walk the dogs on a trail that I haven't done for ages, because I feel like my people need me, and I need my people, which is the trees. So that's where I'm going. So on this full moon, let this all settle, petal. Perception is everything. Hathor's in the heart. Nothing's going wrong here. You're beautiful. You're amazing. We're walking this together. And yeah, we can have tantrums along the way. That's okay. But then we wipe the snot, we flick the hair back, and we remember that we are sovereign. Now I'm going to say peace. See you in the next video.